So people have been asking me how to make different types of oils for different types of things. Um, this is something we certainly can do a little bit on this channel. I don't know how popular these videos will be, so we'll just try it out. But a lot of you asked about this money oil that I used for the money bowl, and I thought I would show you how I make it. Now, this little jar is pretty tricky to get oil into, so requires a funnel and very, very careful uh, stuff. So these are generally little bottles that I make from bigger bottles, and I just give them to people that want them. Um, so it's not really that hard to do. It's there's a method to it. So we'll go through that and try it, see if it works. I mean, is it gonna have you, winning the lottery? Probably not. Um, Will it maybe help you bring in a little bit more money every month or save a little bit more money every month? I think so. I mean, I think the money bowls, I think they work. Otherwise, I've had one for probably 20 years. I change it generally for me once a year, but it's kind of whenever you feel the need. Make sure you're interacting with your money bowl, taking money in and out. So, what about making a money oil? So, this is just a mason jar, nothing special about it. This incense, really, there's nothing too special about this. It's bergamot. Now, I'm use this because I like the smell of it. It's kind of got a citrusy smell. And it's bergamot oil also would be good to put in this, and I don't have any, so or at least not readily at hand. So just make sure you clean your jar, before you start this process. And then this is just like essentially acting like a saging process. So, and since I don't have any bergamot oil here, I'm just going to use this bergamot incense. But, there's only a couple drops of bergamot in the oil anyhow. Okay, so now as you go through, you'll want to sage all the stuff that you're going to put in this. Now, when I make these little jars, I put extra uh, stuff in them to make them look cool, right? There's some allspice berry floating at the top. Now that's in the recipe, but um, just to make them look a little bit more attractive. Now, if you're just doing this for yourself, obviously you're not going to want to make this much. So, cut this down by quite a bit. Okay, and I just have this red cloth here. It's nothing symbolic. Red, though, is money in Chinese culture, so I guess you could think about it that way. I just didn't want to do it on the black tablecloth, and I didn't want to make a mess, which is possible. So, okay, so we're going to incense everything as we go with this bergamot incense. Again, nothing particularly special about it. These are bay leaves. Now, you probably can't find bay leaves like this in, Walmart or Kroger or City Market or whatever your grocery chain is, Safeway. Um, this is from one of the ethnic stores is where I found these big bay leaves. And spices just in general are cheaper there. So, use your own judgment. Don't like spend a ton of money to do this. I certainly wouldn't. And I'll explain some cheaper options as we go. So we want 7 of these. Now the numbers I do think are important, in particular that they're odd numbers. Whether 7, 5, or 3, it doesn't really matter. Or sometimes 13, which is a lucky number for me, but whatever number's lucky for you. Now, if I were doing this just for myself, I probably would just use 1 because that's more than enough. And I would probably write something on it. But since I'm going to give this away, that doesn't make much sense for me to, put my wishes onto other people. So um, I'm just going to break these up just a little bit. This is why the red cloth, just to kind of release a little bit of the oil and to make them fit nicely into the jar. So we do our 7 bay leaves. This one particularly is huge, which would be great to write on. But again, try the Indian stores, the Pakistani stores, the uh, halal stores. Generally, that's the best place to get spices, just in general. Okay, so all right, so we have our bay leaves in here. And now, what else do you add? This is, again, kind of open to interpretation, but I think cloves represent wealth. Um, it's said back in the days, cloves were worth their weight in gold. So that's the idea. And if you'd like the smell of them, then use more. If you don't, use fewer. So I'm going to do 11 or 13. Let's see. So it's one. Now, do be careful. So that was 13. But again, as long as it's an odd number, 13 is a lucky number for me. So just always has been. So um, be careful with this if you have sensitive skin. So um, you wouldn't want to put this on your skin, obviously, if it's going to irritate it. So, but that's not generally what I do with it anyhow. So, but some people do. And then cinnamon, which has gotten extremely expensive. So I got this at the Indian store. Um, and I'm going to do 5 of them. I have 4 of them already here. Now, I just add them. This one I'm going to break in half. So, but it's still just 5, right? Um, and then the only other thing that I'm going to add as far as herbs, and I do think this one's important, is allspice. This is just the little jar that I have. This allspice berries are actually from a different place than this jar. As you'll see, they're quite big, which you're not going to get uh, from the the Walmarts or the Krogers. You'll get really small ones, which are fine, but doesn't really matter. Okay, so at this point, that's all of the stuff except for one thing, which we're going to add. Now, this I do think is optional because it's not that easy to find, but this is called Hyjon root. So if you have it, great. If not, just leave it out. And I would not put a ton of this in there because I do think it is can make your skin quite itchy. So I'm just going to take one of these and break it. I think that's plenty. A little incense on it. And just get them. Okay. So now, depending upon, like, if you're doing this just for yourself, obviously your jar wouldn't be this big. So this is a sweet almond oil. I find this is the best. Now, this isn't, you can generally get this at like the Sally's Beauty Supply. Sometimes people put it in their hair. Places like that, you can buy it online, of course. But if you wanted to use olive oil, that would be perfectly fine. In fact, a lot of people do. So, um, you'll kind of put a pretty fair amount here. We're gonna crush this down here in just a second, but probably want to go I don't know, just a little bit more than that. We're going to add some other stuff too. So, okay. So that's just to dilute some of the scents. Because if you use like essential oils directly on your skin, they can be pretty strong. So the first one we're going to start with is nutmeg. Now you can use actual nutmeg. I just didn't have any. And I don't think I've ever actually have used the powder, you can, but later, like if you want this to last a long time, so I'm gonna do like 10 drops, 11 drops, something like that. That came out really fast, so seems like enough. Smells good. Uh, the next one is clove. We already have cloves in there, but we're gonna add some clove oil. Now, if you don't like the smell of this, I wouldn't add it. I think the cloves in there are just fine. But if you like the smell of cloves, go ahead and add it. Um, now, I'm kind of go both ways on that, so I'm just going to do, I don't know, 10 or 11 drops. Some people count really specific. I think the main thing is just to have the intention, kind of like we talked about with the money bowl of like, this is to generate money. Next is cinnamon. Of course, we have cinnamon in there already, but more cinnamon. Cinnamon, they say, is supposed to speed things up. So, with the Powerball being the way it is, if you were going to buy a ticket, this might be something good to put on, your hands before going and buying your ticket. I don't know. I don't think it'll uh, guarantee you win or anything, but, it certainly couldn't hurt. Okay, the next one is laurel oil. So that's kind of hard to read, but this is essentially bay, right? These are bay laurel leaves. So this is laurel oil. It's the same thing. If you smell it, it smells just like bay leaves. So you can just, a few drops. And then the last one, and this, if you could find this as an herb, that would probably be better, but this is patchouli. There's a reason why people wear patchouli. There's a reason why all the metaphysical shops smell like patchouli. Um, it's because this patchouli is good luck. So since we didn't have any herbs, I probably add quite a bit more of the oil here, just because I like the smell. So you can see this could get really expensive really fast if you don't have these essential oils on hand. So, you know, if you only have olive oil, that's going to be just fine. Or, you know, if you just have cinnamon, that's going to be fine. I talked about that, rubbing cinnamon on your hands before uh, the new month. And then now, because we want this to last a while, um, I'm going to add vegetable glycerin. Um, again, if you were making this just for yourself and you weren't expecting this to, you know, stick around for a long time, because the herbs will go rancid, right? If you keep this for years. So, but this will prolong it and let it last for, I don't know, maybe 18 months, something like that. And it's just kind of thick, but looks about right. And then the last thing, and again, this is just to preserve the the oil so that it lasts longer, is a vitamin E oil. This is again, you can get this like at Sally's Beauty Supply. You can order it online as well. It's really not that hard to find. It is, some people put it on like their crow's feet, that kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna put a little bit, not much. Okay. So now that we have that, now you have a couple options here. You can just let this steep. So that was just the incense. So, I would shake this around like this and put it in a dark place, let it set. You could start using it right away. There's really no reason why not to. It will start to smell better over the months. Now, this little bottle actually came from a jar this size. I just used a dripper to transfer it easy with the funnel. And I just put like three allspice berries, some Hyjon, and I think there's actually patchouli in there. I just didn't have any this time. But and so let's say we've done that. Now we have our oil. Now, if you wanted to do a money manifestation meditation or whatever you want to call it, I don't think really matter. You could use like a gold candle or a green candle. I just happen to have a lot of stuff here. So either one, sometimes people inscribe, things into the side of the candles, like right into them, if you want to. All I generally do is just take a little bit of this, maybe once a month, and I will put it on this candle, so pretend I put oil. I don't want to make a mess, so I'm not going to. Um, and then put it in a holder, like this, set it in front of the money bowl, light it, and just watch it as it burns. So anyhow, so in a while this will get darker because of the cinnamon. It takes it a couple months. So some people say you should shake it 13 times a day for 31 days or something like that. I think that's far too specific and too arduous. I just shake it whenever you think about it. Keep it in a dark spot. If you're just doing this for yourself, I would just make something small like this, or you can buy it online. You can buy money oil online. Um, but if you have a bunch of essential oils and you're interested in doing these kind of things, yeah, just let me know. We can certainly do other types of oils as well. I just thought everybody kept asking me, how do we win the Powerball or the lottery or whatever it is that's 1.7 some billion dollars? And I don't know. Not the right person to ask about that. I think probably wouldn't want to win it, would be my guess. But if you do, this could help, I guess. So, all right, let me know what you think. If you want to do more manifestation oil type stuff, let me know and we'll do it. Thank you.